welcome back to another episode of the Cousin Cuzzo podcast.
Sir,
you know, you got your guests. It's your man Nate.
Coach Wilson in the building again.
Another episode coming to y'all, man. Another episode coming. We are very excited for the second episode that we have for y'all. Obviously, you see that we have lighting now. In terms of the comments that we have last episode, I appreciate
minor setback.
A minor trial and error, you know what I mean? This is the first episode, but hey, we appreciate y'all's feedback. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. And we got definitely a lot more to cook up for y'all, man. In terms of this, I know Coach Wilson has been a very, very busy body, including myself. He's been, traveling and whatnot for the ball, which basketball, who we will definitely get into in just a little bit. I told y'all as of last podcast that this podcast was going to be something that was obviously sport oriented, but as well in terms of pop culture. We have a lot of things that do happen outside of sports that we are all more tuned into, you know.
We gotta dig into.
I mean, for start off, we'll kind of go off with the man himself, Mr. Jay-Z, coming out of retirement, man. I mean, it's been the first time he's performed, I would say, like 9 years, since 2017.
I've been a little bit, probably been longer than that, man.
The 444 tour was the last time he performed, so that was 2017. It's been exactly about 9 years, but before then, it's been a while as well. Give me your input, man. What you think about this?
I mean, what we're referring to is obviously the 3 nights in Brooklyn, Yankee Stadium that Jay-Z did. Is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Basically kicked it off with the 30-year anniversary of Reasonable Doubt, which was the album that started it all. And then he went Saturday, killed it again with the 25-year anniversary of The Blueprint, which is another one of my favorites. That's probably one of my top 3 albums of all time. And then the third night on yesterday, which was the Extra Innings, which he went crazy.
The Extra Innings went stupid.
Crazy, bringing out people. I mean, this dude, obviously set the pinnacle for what it is to be in hip hop and, pop culture and things like that. But I mean, what he's done to celebrate these albums, I thought was impressive. It's hard to do, man. It's hard to do for any artist.
The longevity of being in.
I'm talking 30 years, celebrating 30 years of an album, like.
Being one of the godfathers of rap too, you know what I mean? It's not like he's just someone that's, I mean, it's like I had said, the longevity of it is, it's hard alone for it to stay relevant for so long. But to be looked at as like one of the godfathers of rap and one of those just upper echelon dudes, man, that's one of a kind. You know what I mean? We definitely don't see that often. And yeah, man, I mean, there's obviously a lot of controversy. I know there's probably some people that have some type of feelings toward Jay-Z. Jay-Z he's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time, believe it or not, man. And that's not even up for debate. I feel like in terms of at least the rap game. But yeah, man. I mean, just to kind of kick it off with the extra innings and stuff that he had for.
He had a
lot of guests.
Impressive lineup. I mean, yesterday the surprise guest with Beyonce and Eminem was the second night, but you had Beyonce the third night, and you had Rihanna and the Clips, and he made Jeezy. Nas, you got Jeezy that was on tour, in Vegas. And he canceled his tour to come down. Canceled one of his tour shows to come down and perform with this dude. Same thing with Usher. Like, it's just crazy. Like, so I mean, Fat Joe and Jadakiss came out. So I mean, like, it was an impressive night last night. Concert got, I think one of the biggest news, which almost overshadowed the concert, was that they got delayed like 4 or 5 hours.
I did see something about that.
It got delayed 4 or 5 hours, and thank God, first of all, everybody's safe. But yeah, somebody tried to bum rush the door, try to get in, and then obviously they had to do, what they needed to do is for security purposes to shut down the arena. And obviously,
it's not like the Yankee Stadium's in the best spot.
No, I mean, you are where you are, so you're gonna get what you get. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad everybody was safe and nothing bad happened. I think they handled it well for the circumstances, and I know it's unfortunate that everybody didn't get out of there until probably 3 o'clock in the morning, but I think it was the best thing, and from what I'm hearing, it was worth it. And what it looked like from the videos, it was worth it. So salute to Jay. I mean, it's an impressive lineup, and again, these albums, congratulations on the Reasonable Doubt 30 and the Blueprint being 25. It's crazy. It just makes me feel old because I remember when those albums, both of them, came out and how impactful they was.
I mean, I was a young boy when they came out, so I personally do not remember the hype that was behind all this.
This is right up my wheelhouse right here.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, I'm 26 now, so in terms of this whole situation with the blueprint, like, it still holds weight. You know what I mean? Even until 2026,
it ages.
And that's one of the things that carries with Jay, man. That's what makes him one of those dudes. The fact that he has the longevity to carry an album that is 20 plus years old and it still holds the not just the nostalgic feel, but the true rap form of how it was. The blueprint.
Yep. And it's been rumbling. We'll see if some new music comes out of it. I know he's got the SoFi arena thing, and then he got the show out there, and he's going out to London and Paris.
Yeah.
After that,
I definitely, and I don't know if you peeped or if you guys peeped, but he also he had Beyonce shaving his head, and I'm going with you know what I mean?
You already know how that goes.
So exactly, like we kind of see the storytelling in that, for sure.
Something's coming, but salute again to Jay-Z. Had to kick it off with that of how much an impact that made this weekend. And again, just to celebrate that. But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean that'll roll us into the craziness of the sports this weekend. Segueing right into obviously I was away at the basketball event, but I still was able to catch UFC event that was going on, the UFC 329 that took place this past Saturday. I was all gung-ho about it. I was ready to roll, even though I was on the road team, the club team. I was locked in. I was like, all right, I'm going to find somewhere to sit down and watch this thing. And I let Nate take it because I am thoroughly upset just by the results that I got from some of these matchups. But I'll say my piece in a minute. But yeah, I'll let Nate and then kind of deliberate on what took place this weekend.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, as you guys all know, UFC 329 took place this weekend, and this was McGregor. This was McGregor's return in terms of him coming back from the horrific injury that he had, dog. And coming into it, I mean, there was so much hype coming into this UFC bout.
Max Holloway.
You know what I mean? Not to mention who he's going against. Max Holloway, BMF. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys in terms of UFC now. I mean, obviously, I know they had some past before. Fought like 13 years ago. This is a completely different Max Holloway than it was 13 years ago, I will say. But Conor McGregor is still Conor McGregor. I can't say that confidently in terms of his skill level. Obviously, we know how he runs.
You can say the draw. The draw that he brings, and I think
it's a stardom.
He's still McGregor.
His press conferences and everything, it's just he's still that star. Yeah. Star.
Yeah. Still moves the needle in the box office.
Most definitely. And in terms of that, I mean, a lot of people have different expectations. I think it was probably half and half in terms of at least the people I was able to connect with.
Yep.
I think expectations, obviously, a lot of people had more so on Max Holloway's side, because if you're being realistic, I mean, this has been over 1,200 days since Conor McGregor's last fight. It's been quite some time. And I was referencing this to the people I was watching it with. I mean, just being outside of the octagon for that long, and being outside of any sport for that long, it's a lot. And that's, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that you're out of shape, and just being in a true game form is a different type of play. It's a different type of level. And you can train as much as you want, but when you're actually out there and the lights are on,
different animal.
It's a completely different level. And McGregor is obviously more than capable of, but that injury is a setback. He claims that he is not done. He still wants to come back, so we'll have to see exactly what his future holds. But it wasn't pretty, man. I mean, the fight ended in 69 seconds, and it ended on results of a knockout, TKO, just because essentially he wasn't able to finish the match. And I'm pretty sure that's something that, came to the conclusion of something that he had to have known. And they had to have known when coming into this match, like, hey, if you're not able to finish, this is not going to result in your side. We're not going to result it to a non-competition, non-contest, and it's essentially just going to result as a loss for you. And I mean, Norman McGregor, I'm not surprised that he took that chance, but it definitely hurts to see as a sports fan. So hopefully he's able to come back off of this, and we'll see exactly what the future holds for him. But I'm not going to take away the night from, just the UFC 329 in total.
It was a good fight.
It was a pretty good card, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys were able to see the whole situation between Terrence McKinney and King Green. Essentially with King Green and Terrence McKinney calling each other soft and whatnot prior to the fight, and the fact that Terrence McKinney obviously is a young bull going into King Green, and I mean it was a very interesting fight to say, I would say the least. If you guys were not able to watch it, it ended in the first round, last second to say the least, and it was crazy. It was honestly crazy. There was a lot of haymakers being thrown, but in all honesty, I thought King Green was going to lose that match just because of the way that Terrence McKinney came out. He came out fighting like a pit bull.
He was overly aggressive.
And it's weird, and it's kind of weird because I saw the replay in slow motion in terms of how Terrence McKinney ended up. Like I said, I don't know if you guys ended up watching the fight, but I'll kind of break it down for you. He ended up essentially getting caught into the rib and kidney area with, I would say, a jab that looked a little deflected. I'm surprised it hurt him as bad as it did, just because when King Green had threw that jab, it looked like when Terrence McKinney was essentially in the stance, it blocked a little bit with his elbow and then came to his rib. So the fact that he was able to have to go to a fetal position and essentially not been able to defend himself anymore, and that was the rest of the fight. I was a little surprised. But hey, man, King Green stood on his stuff, talked his stuff, and by then, I mean,
that's a fight I wish it would have went a little bit long. If it would have went into the second and third round.
And to be real with you, I was just about to get into that. Like it almost did, but Terrence McKinney he fumbled that fight because going into when King Green had connected with him, he was, I would say, in the fetal position for about a good 8 seconds. The ref was giving him some time to be like, yo, get back up.
Because I thought that would have been a really good fight.
Yeah.
I mean, if it would have went to the second round to give McKinney a little bit of a chance to kind of adjust and be flexible and stuff like that. So I would have loved to have seen at least another round or two out of that. But I think McKinney would.
I don't think it would have lasted another 2 rounds for sure. Another round, but
I think McKinney was a little bit overly aggressive, and then I ended up getting caught, and then obviously it went down how it went down. But
and I mean, I'll kind of leave it off into the next fight or the next match that I wanted to talk about, and that was Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah.
Paddy, as y'all know, he went against Benoit St. Dennis, and I mean, I had anybody coming into it. That man came off on a leash.
Yeah.
Match ended in 59 seconds due to or 52 seconds. My apologies. 52 seconds. Due to and to be real, that was even shorter than McGregor's fight, so that's even crazier. But it ended to a submission. Once they got down to the ground, man, Paddy didn't let it get back up.
It was a brutal submission.
It was pretty bad. Had him in the headlock.
Brutal guillotine.
Was not able to get back out.
Nasty. It was nothing you could do about it.
It was pretty bad.
Over. It looked like Paddy didn't work on any type of ground game at all, like in camp or anything like that. Like that's what it looked like. It looked like he was just like once he was down.
Oh, most definitely. But I mean, then again, like coming off the match that Paddy had last fight, like he had to bounce back off of this, and I'm glad that he took that chance and left no type of room for any type of discussion. That was definitely something to say.
That's fact. But yeah, I mean, it was a solid card. I was just disappointed in some of the matchups, like obviously McGregor, and then I would have loved to have seen a couple of these go a little bit longer, a little bit longer if we could. Like I think the UFC's got to figure that out in terms of just like, all right, not even just the longer matches, but just making sure that they have quality matches for these big events. Like, all right, cool.
So you think that's something that the UFC needs to look into? Because I don't think that's really a topic of discussion right now. So that could be an interesting thing.
I think that's got to be something that they look into. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when they dig into, like, all right, how can we get cards that are like consistently stacked across the board, like besides the main 2 co-headliners or whatever the case may be. So just something that they got to look into. But again, solid card. McGregor just killed it for everybody. So that was it after that.
I think he definitely took the up out of the room. Like I said, it was just a pretty devastating end result to the fight. Once again, hopefully McGregor is able to come back off of this and we'll see what actually happens, but I doubt it.
We'll see him in a year.
If that. Yeah, I mean, going off of Jay-Z's guest, man, did you? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're aware, and I'm sure you guys are all aware. Usher and Chris Brown has started off their tour, and let's believe I definitely will be going.
I'm Gucci.
I gotta go to that, bro. That's a classic. I'm cool with the serenade. Did y'all
play the outside?
Did you see the results of? I guess there was a shorty that ended up.
Yes.
Yeah, that got brought onto stage with Chris Brown and her husband.
Yeah, that was nasty work, man. I mean,
I don't blame him. It was nasty.
Yeah,
it was egregious.
It's a very sticky
to say the least.
Yeah, I think everybody's.
The divorce, that's that's your own opinion. I'm not saying hey, everybody has their own ways of going about things. Being upset about it, it was an ugly look.
Yeah, everybody's situation. I saw the video. Everybody's household is different. I ain't speak too much into it, but I just think it could be handled. And hey, if she, if that's what she was okay with, then hey, be my guest. But yeah, I know if that's wife of mine. No, we're not
working on.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Let's play a real. But I mean that now that's what they've been known for though at these concerts now. Usher and Chris Brown. I mean they've been
exactly
on tour for almost a year.
Obviously, I know you're not a hubby or nothing like that. But how do you feel about it? I mean, they literally just serenade these women.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
That's what I mean.
I see a family member of mine out there. I'm gonna have to bring your ass out.
But again, I think if people are saying that they're complaining, they're all buying these tickets to go see them, and they've both been on tour for a year now. And it's been that's their part of their I'm not saying it's right, but
their act.
Yeah, that's their act. That's their performance, and that's what they're doing. So you know what you're getting yourself into when you. I can hear where you're coming from. My VIP, I'm not saying that it's all right. I
expect it, but at the same time, don't be surprised.
Yeah, in my personal life, I'm not okay with it. But however, you got to know what you're getting yourself into when you sign up for that, because they have been consistent across the board for it's almost been a year and a half. Usher was on tour by himself. Chris Brown was on tour by himself. And then they came together, and now they're ready to go on tour for another 6 months, and it's been the same thing over and over.
It's like they like having
y'all keep going up there and setting yourselves up to go do it, and then y'all using
they love it. They love doing it,
man. No, just don't. Hey, listen. Take your butt up to the box seats. Go up
stay there.
You get kind of same view.
And stay there.
Same view. And enjoy the concert and the song. You won't have to worry about nothing.
That's facts. Enjoy yourself. But not too much.
No. We got to reel it in.
That's facts. But no, I mean, yeah, it's crazy to see. I think it's entertaining, but at the same time, man, it's very tragic. I mean, like I said, put myself in someone else's shoes, I don't know how I would react to that. So that's sticky.
Yeah,
sticky is the right word.
That one alone.
But
box seats.
Box seats. I'm in the box seats. You gonna see me in the glass up there. But I mean, yeah, that's Jay, man. That's Jay. So I honestly will be looking to go to the LA show. So
yeah,
we'll look to see exactly what happens. I wanted to go to the
report back on what's going on.
Hey man, we'll see. I wanted to go to the New York show
myself. I know wifey going to go, so he acting like he's going. He's going.
Nah, I'll definitely. If it ain't gonna be wifey, it'll be somebody that's gonna come with me. I'll definitely bring someone. But that's even if I'm able to. I mean, I wanted to go to the Brooklyn or to the New York show and. That John sold out in 24, 48 hours.
No, but we were just talking about it too in the group chat with the fam though. It's like the tickets went down immediately that week. You know what I mean? So
and that's also resellers though. It wasn't even marketed at that point. Yeah. Resellers is I don't know if I'm going to buy tickets for resale, so we're going to have to see what happens after that. Yeah. But coming off from the UFC, I will say, obviously, we still have some things going on in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Free agency essentially, obviously, is ended, but it's still the off season, and there's still some moves going on. I mean, I'll kind of start it off with the latest that has happened. Kawhi Leonard obviously is not a Toronto Raptor as of right now. There's a lot of things. It is on pause. But there are a lot of things that are still going on with this investigation that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm surprised that it's still happening, man. What's your thought on that?
Man,
just the investigation entirely still on.
I just think it's really ironic. They've let the Clippers make all of these moves and transactions in free agency, and now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's just they've been letting them sign free agents. They've been letting them do all of these different things. They obviously let them still be a part of the draft or whatever the case may be. They've been doing all of these transactions within the NBA, and then all of a sudden, now it's oh yeah, well hold up, wait a minute. Now we're gonna hold off on this trade before he gets. Moved. If this is a big thing and it's all right, well, we're holding them accountable and doing all that stuff, hold them accountable across the board. Just say, hey, y'all can't make any transactions league-wide until we're done. That means trades, draft picks, whatever the case may be.
And I mean, and to kind of go into that, not to bring off any type of like, not to bring off any type of conspiracies or anything, but I mean, Adam Silver is an ally of Steve Ballmer, and we know Steve Ballmer is probably, if not the richest, one of the richest owners in the NBA. So I mean, that could play a part, I guess. And I hate to kind of even think like that and say it, but it's a business.
It's nasty. It's nasty. And again, I get it. It is a business, but it's nasty how you move.
Yeah,
and it's like if you're gonna do it, then do it. Like
it's been 10 months, bro. If not, maybe like a year.
It's either you don't have anything, or you're just waiting for something to happen.
And to kind of give it into context, when we're talking about the investigation, if you guys do not know, Kawhi Leonard is still under investigation with the whole conspiracy of taking extra money for the $28 million that he took on the back end of that quote unquote fake tree company, Aspirations, that was essentially paying Kawhi under the table from when he wasn't able to get more for his contract.
Right.
And like I had mentioned, Steve Ballmer is one of the richest owners in NBA. Mm-hmm. If y'all don't know, he has a big tie to Microsoft. So, I mean, the man's got money. I'm not trying to, like I said, point any fingers and have any conspiracies, but there's already a lot going on. And the fact of the matter of that this investigation that, I mean, it's kind of black and white. Like, I don't know what more you can really dig into this.
They either waiting for something to happen, or they have nothing. Like, I mean, it's just that simple.
And that's kind of been the talk of the town as well. Like, even with a lot of reporters around Yahoo, ESPN, they all either feel like you either don't have any type of evidence for this, or you're just waiting. But at the same point in time, I mean, it came to the point now where this man has been dealed off, and it kind of got cut on hold because of the situation. And now to kind of get back on the hold. So I've been hearing that essentially it wasn't even necessarily the NBA that really put this on hold. It was the Toronto Raptors. And I'm surprised to even hear this, but coming from a reporter of Howard Beck, essentially, I guess Toronto really kind of got cold feet going into this deal. It bugs me as a sports fan because obviously it's taken too long, but apparently what is going on with the deal is Toronto in the league had Toronto, LA, and the league offices had talks in regards to Kawhi with what's going on. Or is there going to be repercussions if he ends up getting dealt off? Like what's going to happen? Yeah. And essentially here, what the league offices told Toronto, from what I've been hearing from our sources, essentially here that Toronto, you can do the deal. If anything happens with Kawhi, not necessarily you guys will have to pay the repercussions, but more so, if Kawhi ends up getting his contract voided, you guys are just going to lose out on Kawhi.
Right.
Which, I mean, huge, because not only do they lose out on Kawhi, but they lose out on all the pieces that they let go of.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and so on and so forth. So Toronto essentially knew about the deal, knew the terms and conditions, and essentially instead of ended up losing out on all that they have and losing out on Kawhi as well, they just said, well, you know what, let's try to see if we can cancel out this deal. And this is just from the sources that I've heard.
Yeah.
That was surprising to hear from me.
It could be a number of segues, but I think, again, it could be just handled differently by the NBA. I think all parties.
I think it definitely should have been ended by now. The investigation is either they're guilty or they're not.
Yeah.
I don't know
parties
exactly.
can handle it different. I think they just need to come up with a solution so that they can, get it figured out. But yeah, it's definitely something fishy that's going on with this. And obviously we'll keep ties on it, throughout the course. I'm sure by the time, obviously, we get into that October, we'll know a little bit more.
Definitely should not even take that long. I mean,
shouldn't take that long, but I got a feeling like obviously it's going to be quiet after summer league. So you'll get that kind of stagnant stuff that's going on, and obviously, whenever they get to where they get to. But I think it brings us to our the next topic, which was the top topic this past week. The brawl between Bam and Hero
Tyler Hero
that reportedly took place, according to Shams, took place in Vegas at a practice court in Vegas during the summer league. I guess they linked up with each other. Obviously, these two were teammates in Miami for I think 7 or 8 years. And they obviously were going back and forth, played well together. I felt like, but then eventually Hero got traded to the Bucks. And then there was some words that were apparently exchanged on Twitter at some point in time.
Yeah, something about some type of like DMs from like a burner account or something allegedly like that coming in that Tyler Hero was talking about Bam's skills.
Yeah, man. Hey, Bam said it was on site. So apparently it was
at least he's still on his word.
So yeah, it was really on site. So
but I mean
there's been photos of, obviously Hero walking around, Summer League with the black eye and stuff like that, and Dan with the glasses on. So it something took place there, but I just don't. I mean, I respect it because he's still 10 toes down. He said it was on site. It was on site. So
I ain't got no comment.
Yeah, but I just feel like yeah.
It's I mean, I don't think there's much to really say about it. It's I think it's just more so surprising coming from I think most sports fans, just because we've seen. I wouldn't say they had the cleanest relationship, but we've seen that they were together for so long, and just coming to
they feel like they was good teammates.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we didn't see no rift there, and the fact that it came after one of them got dealt off is just like, how ironic is that? I really don't have any comment for it though. We'll see what Miami looks like.
We'll see what. I'm sure it'll unfold. I know eventually somebody will pick up some video or something somewhere, but it didn't, like you said. I don't even think it should have gotten to that point.
Yeah.
But
I mean, kind of going off from, I guess, them two. What you think gonna happen to Tyler Hero, man? I personally don't. I don't think. I mean, even though he is a Milwaukee kid, I don't think he's staying in Milwaukee. I don't think he's staying in Milwaukee.
No, I don't think he's staying in Milwaukee.
I think he is getting dealt off somewhere. I wish I could tell y'all where. I don't have an idea right now.
I think the problem is he's gonna come with a hefty price tag. And I don't know if a lot of NBA.
There's only so many teams that be able to take that.
I mean, not just contractual wise. I think.
No, just wanting to take it.
Yeah, the Bucks are gonna look for. They're gonna look for some picks.
For sure, that future.
A young piece that they can get back to be like, all right, cool, this kid fit. Because I agree. Like, I just don't think the Bucks are now. They just hit the reset button. There we go. So they've taken on contracts. They've taken on this. They got a bunch of draft picks. So now it's like, all right, what do we do? All right, do we keep this dude in here? Like, is he a franchise player? I think is the next question. I don't think he is. I think he's a great role player. So now you got to look at, all right, let's get what we can from him. Like, do you deal him before the season starts, or do you deal him in the middle of the season when his stock starts to go up? But I think,
and to be real with you, like if I was to put in my input, I honestly think you would have to wait until his stock goes up, because right now he has no draft capital. I mean, not draft capital. He has no trade capital. I don't think there really is a market out there for Tyler Hero. So, I mean, and it's not like he's a bum. I mean, he could definitely get you an easy 20. So once he's able to really build up and Milwaukee, I mean, remind me, I don't think they have anybody right now. I can go and get you a bucket right off top. So,
I mean, not really. There's nobody that's really left that's there. I mean,
like they're the best. I mean, I know they have re-signed Gary Trent for another 4 years in that extension. So that was pretty big. But even then, he's not like
he's not
an offensive bucket like Tyler Hero.
Main bucket getter, like
So I mean, they have Ryan Rollins, is a really good point guard. It's up and coming. To further my point, they don't have anybody that can go and get you a 25 or 30.
But he's again, these are all expiring contracts.
I know y'all saw my face when you said Kyle Cruz. I ain't got no words for Kyle Cruz.
Was still there, you know what I mean? But I mean, they're all expiring contracts. So the Bucks know what they're doing. They're like, all right, let's max out on this draft capital, and let's get what we can, and we'll rebuild from there. So I would not be surprised if Hero was not in Milwaukee, but by probably the All-Star break. I would say
that's a pretty good timeline. I have him definitely being a Buck toward the start of the season. I would say probably like toward maybe like November, December, he may get dealt off. Which All-Star break is coming around like February.
February-ish. Yep.
That would sound about right. Speaking of deals,
wait for that man.
We'll wait for. He's talking about LeBron James.
Yes.
I mean, I guess we can kind of go off into. Do you think LeBron has any chance? And I don't want to dig too deep into LeBron because obviously there hasn't been any latest deals that we've heard since the last pod. But do you think he has any type of? There's a possibility because he's been in the listing. But what's the possibility? I guess you can kind of say of him joining Miami. What do you think he has a chance of really coming back to South Beach?
I think it's slim.
I think it's very slim too, but
I think it's about a 2% chance. I just don't think that that's I think there's a lot of bridges that need to be mended there. With Pat Riley behind the scenes and a lot of the administration.
If that's the case, though, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I can see where you're coming from, but don't you think that would necessarily be kind of like either talked about or distinguished before they would be involved in the last 14 years?
100%. I mean, but I just don't know if it's moving right now. It just seems quiet. He's going off, he's coughing. He was just at all three of the damn Jay-Z concerts.
No, he's 1,000%.
So, it's like he's just chilling. So I don't know if those relationships are being mended, with Pat Riley. I know that was a big, big piece for LeBron leaving originally to go back to Cleveland when he left Miami. So I think that's a huge piece in it. I don't know if they have.
And for the people, my fault. Go ahead, my fault.
No, I mean, if you're gonna go there and play with those two guys, you got no shooting, you have no bench, and no depth. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna go do that. I might as well go over here to Golden State, where I got my guys, and I know.
And you're gonna get paid probably
minimum.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely gonna get paid less than Golden State. But to kind of bring off of that, I mean, going back to Miami with LeBron, you had mentioned before. I mean, I know what you're talking about with the whole situation with him and Pat Riley departing, but for the people that don't know, I mean, we have some kids that are definitely watching this in terms of high school. Is what happened with LeBron moving from South Beach. I mean, you say he has some issues with Pat Riley.
Yeah,
what ended up happening at the time?
Yeah, I think it was more of a the business thing, and obviously him going back holding a lot of weight of going back to obviously Cleveland. But I think the business side of things and how Pat Riley handled it. And I think also, let's be honest, Brown is a prima donna, you know what I mean? And I think he wants to have a lot of the control over a lot of the narrative and stuff like that. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Listen, from a coach-player perspective, Pat Riley is one of those old school dudes. He's just not going to let, hey, man.
And for y'all don't know, Pat Riley, I mean, we have a lot of OGs watching this pod, but Pat Riley is also the godfather of basketball. One of the godfathers.
About to sit up there and be like, here, LeBron, I'm about to I'm going to let you get the wheelhouse.
It's his way of the highway, for sure.
He's not about to let you, run the asylum. He's not. So I think that had a lot to do with it. If we being completely honest, and I think LeBron is just like, all right, man, I'm gonna just go. I know I can go do my thing. You know what I mean?
It's my city.
I'm gonna go put this thing together. My city, going back, it makes the most sense. So I think those were a lot of the variables where him and Pat Riley butted heads in Miami, which caused, at least for him to think about the wheel turning and getting.
And for y'all that remember, obviously LeBron had this tandem of about 4 years in Miami, going into 2011, I believe.
Yep.
And when he had signed to South Beach, obviously everybody knows the history that was there. And when they were there, it was a show to see. It was crazy, but it did end up kind of going quick due to just relationship issues. And that's kind of the lay of the land for the business, and that's how it happens sometimes. Sucks it had to happen to that type of team because that team was one of those teams to definitely go down in the books.
100%.
But yeah, I mean that's what ended up happening with LeBron leaving Miami the first time, and we'll see if he ends up returning for the second time. I truly do.
The last news that came out was that there's supposed to be a move within the next 72 hours, or decision made within the next.
Which I mean, if you're asking my personal opinion, I don't agree that there will be one. Obviously, that's coming from Clutch Sports, and
from Clutch, that's coming from Shan.
You know what I mean? And essentially, you got to listen to their words, so we'll see what happens. But I think LeBron is definitely going to wait out his position and see exactly what would be the best step. And I mean, if you're asking me personally, I still think the Miami move is very slim. I don't think that just because the team there doesn't make sense, man. It's too many ball dominant players, and not to mention they are all rim grazers. They all go pause. They all go to the cup easy, man. With them Bam, Giannis and LeBron, that's just on paper it don't make sense. But I would still love to see him in Philly. I'll say that again until I see him in a Sixers jersey.
The more I think about it as a coach, man, I don't know.
I think he would do well, man. Obviously, there's a lot of depth that Philly needs. But I think that missing piece for the IQ, dog, that would be shaky. You can't not fit LeBron in.
It looks good on paper.
So give me your insight as to why it would not work.
It looks good on paper. And I'm going to be honest, I was one of the first ones thinking about it, even when we did episode 1, which will be coming soon. And when we did episode 1, we were talking about the options and things like that, obviously with Jaylen Brown going there. But I think there is a lot of ball-dominant guys that are there that need the ball. Like that, I mean, BJ is, obviously he's one. They're all.
BJ's still a young boy though, but I mean, even then,
he needs the ball in order to make an impact. Like he does.
Yeah.
He hasn't learned how. He hasn't fully built up. Like he hasn't gotten there yet in his game to where though he can kind of play off the ball. And I think Ron does help him with that. But I think right now it's going to be some bumps in the road. I don't think it happens right away where you're like, all right, I'm going to put them up as a number one contender right away and say, all right.
Nah, I wouldn't say that, but I think him going to Philly, one would obviously broaden the IQ for a lot of the young players that are in there, like BJ. I mean, shit, even Tyrese Maxey would be able to benefit from that. But I mean, who wouldn't realistically? It's LeBron James. But in terms of just first of all, the starting five would be amazing.
What else if Embiid even show up, man? I ain't like if his ass even come out.
See, and this is me saying it with Embiid being in the lineup.
If he get out the bed, like he get out the bed and not hit his head or fall on something, he just be making up.
So I mean,
he just be creating situations.
Yo, it's not him, brother. It is not him.
Hit his knee and come on, man.
So okay, so let me ask you this: what do you think should happen with him? Do you think the process should be moved on from him?
Yeah, I would have moved on from him like 2 years ago.
I think there's a good amount of the fan base that are on the same page.
I would have been,
but I think there's still that side of the fan base that are like, you know what I mean? When he plays, he's still a top 5 big. But I mean, that's like I said, when he plays, and his record has been he hasn't played for half of his career.
Yeah, and he looked good. Don't get me wrong. Like it was like he was okay in the playoffs in the first, but he was also a defensive liability. Like you talking about the teams. And then like he couldn't
because of his injuries.
He couldn't move. Like so it's like so it got to a point where like Knicks was just running. Like it was. I mean, you couldn't do nothing with it. You couldn't do nothing with Robinson. Like so it was like it's hard to keep him out there on the floor. So that's why I say like that's my concern. Mm-hmm. Like all right, well now you got LeBron in there at the 4, and you got him at the 5. Now you're talking about 40-year-old dude, and then injury prone. In the front like court, like it's like come on, man, like it's so I just don't know. There's different red flags that I got about Philly, but I mean, yeah, if Embiid's healthy and he can actually get back to the Embiid that he was a couple years ago, not the one that I saw in the playoffs, I think that's fully gold. I think he did a lot of scoring, but if you look at the plus minuses and his stats, he was a defensive liability. Right. That's why they got cooked. Like it's just that simple. So. But if he can get back to that prime form, I think you probably are talking about something. And then if all of those guys are willing, somebody's got to be willing to average between 12 and 15 points. Who's that guy? You know, like on Philly? Who's that guy? Who's that guy that's okay with saying, all right, I might. If you're talking about the roster as of right now, I think BJ would be completely fine. I might get 10. You know what I mean? Like somebody's got to be okay with.
And that's me thinking. I mean, he could not be okay with that. But I think in terms of you going to where, I mean, this is your second year coming into the league, and this is not like let's take a step back so we can look for the future. This is a title for the run.
We know who the 2 stars are. Like, and Embiid ain't one of them. So it's like to me, so you got your 2 guards as stars. So they're giving you 25 plus. Like
you got to include Jaylen Brown now.
Okay. Yeah, your 2 guards are your stars. Your 2 wings are your stars. And then now, all right, cool. If Embiid is any inkling of what he is, then he's probably going to be upwards in that realm too. So then now it leaves, again, BJ's got to be okay with it. Bron's got to be okay with it and saying, all right, cool, I'm cool with giving y'all 10 and 12 and 15, some assists here and some rebounds here. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's that, it's that sacrifice that they're going to have to be okay with, But.
And I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. Okay, so let me backtrack. I can get the point where you're coming from because, I mean, like I kind of mentioned before, Embiid has not played for half of his career, bro. So availability is the best ability. What do you think that they would even be able to haul in for someone like Embiid? Because his market's not high, and I think everybody knows that. You think anything at this point?
Yes. They keep getting. Okay. I don't know how they keep getting these big trade packages for Anthony Davis, but I don't know how they keep getting these big trade packages for Paul George, but they do. Right. Like so, it's a market. Somebody's stupid enough to do it. So like if you can come in and again,
shit, the Lakers might have been.
That's what I'm saying. Like they were. The Lakers was close. They was close to saying, let's go after Embiid. Let's put them on the market. Like they needed a center. So they was like, all right, they would have been all chips in. So it's like, all right, I think if you can get him on a situation where he's like, all right, I'm coming in and I'm getting hot, I get me to All-Star break. Just like we're talking about with Tyler Hero, I think you can get in a situation where,
and I think that's a fair insight to look at it. I mean, that's a very fair insight to look at it. And if you are not able to get anyone off in terms of just being able to get that deal done, I think there definitely needs to be some type of game plan made for Embiid, whether it be minute restriction, just because essentially, hey, look, man, I get the type of player that you can be offensively, but defensively, you definitely are a liability, and we're going to need to bring in another big to at least play half of the game to where, you know what I mean, we're going to have to structure something. And I've never even heard of basketball being played like that. This is just something that I'm thinking off dome because Embiid is a I don't want to say a one-of-a-kind type of player because the bigs are evolving now. Like, bigs are they being able to stretch, they being able to play make. It's getting crazy. Yeah. But, I mean, and when he was healthy, he was one of those guys. And I think that's more so just a memory of me talking more so than as of right this minute because – yeah, I mean, something needs to be done with Embiid. It's going to be another wasted year of the Phillies, the Sixers, and
that's whether you get LeBron or not.
I mean, even without LeBron, you're still going to have to figure out something to do with Embiid. But we'll kind of wait to see exactly what happened because it's been 13 years now since he's been at Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong on that exact number. Forgive me on that, but if not, it's been about 13, bro. Go ahead and make sure of that, just to be sure.
There's something around that number, but yeah, you're gonna have to, step up on one of those different things and facets.
So 12 years. It's been 12 years. I was a year off. But I mean, yeah, it's diabolical. Going into Coach Wilson, I must ask, what's your thoughts on Team USA and the way that they finished out?
Man,
let me know.
Lord,
give me your insight.
I look into the camera. This was probably one of the most embarrassing performances I've seen in a long time.
We got our ass
from any sport.
Excuse my language. We got our butts whooped by Melton.
And I'll tell you, like said the last pod, the first episode, this is my first year like actually watching a long part of the cup, the FIFA Cup, and how it broke down and everything. Like games that wasn't even US, I was watching. I was tuned into the entire game. And to watch that game and how we represented the country was tough to watch.
I'll ask you this. Being the first time that you've watched the World Cup, because it's the world sport for a reason. It's been around for a very long time. Yep. How did you feel? You know what I mean? Like, not one just watching a World Cup, but like seeing USA actually take off the way they did. Like, yeah. I mean, like, there's got to be some sense of pride. You know what I mean?
Like, competitive. I think that's the biggest thing for me as a competitor. Like, I don't care, like, regardless of whether, like, just go out there. If it's, hey, you gave the effort, you do what you do, and you still get your butt beat, and they're just better than you, it is what it is.
You went out
and they are. Like, yeah, in some of these countries, like, most of them are, like, when you get to that 24, 32, 16, like, all of it, they're just better. Like, they're just better. They're fundamentally sound. We talked about it before. But, like, go out swinging. Go out putting up a fight. Go out making the effort. Go out making the decisions and all of that stuff to put yourself in the best possible way to compete at a high level. But that performance, to watch the goalie and that and how that transpired.
It was a pretty bad match.
It was just so bad to watch. The defensive tendencies and
what did you feel about the situation with Christian Pulisic and the star player not being able to really finish out that game because he was getting a lot of scrutiny and a lot of I just scrutiny for that situation and just exactly what ended up happening.
Yeah, like I think it's
criticism, feedback,
as he should. Like I think he rightfully so, and I think he needs to be able to stand up to that decision and say, all right, I'm gonna go in and take accountability for it and be able to have that tough conversation. Because you make that decision in the whole moment, but now you're representing not only yourself but now the country. So now you got to go in there and sit down in the press conference and be able to have these conversations. But don't avoid it. Like, you know what I mean? You make the decision to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I think it was more so, not the fact that he wasn't taking the initiative to go back out, but his response to it.
Yeah.
That's what really pissed people off.
Yes.
And if you guys don't know, Christian Pulisic was asked about just his leadership in regards to just exactly him not being able to finish it out through the World Cup of the injury that he ended up sustaining.
Yeah.
And he just ended up responding basically that he needed rest. That he'll rest, and he'll come back from this. I'm kind of paraphrasing this. This isn't the exact quote, obviously, but essentially that's really what he meant, and it definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
There was no sense of urgency in the comment or feedback.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like. I mean, we're not really spitballing what exactly he said, but it was no like, all right, hey, I'm trying to do this, or I was trying to do that. There was no intensity, there was no passion in it. And I think that's what rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and rightfully so. Like, this is an event that takes place every 4 years. And now that we got a chance.
Not to mention, the USA hasn't been one of those top dogs in terms of
and that's what I mean. And now you got a chance to actually showcase and perform and gain some respect as a country, and then you go out there and it's kind of like, all right, well, it is what it is, and that's the vibe that we got off, and that was embarrassing. And now circle back, now we go to the game, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like it was just nasty. So, I mean, again, once you guys see this podcast, by the time you see this podcast, we'll be rolling into the next matchups. But we had to go back and just address or talk about the U.S. and how they finished off that match, and then going in, and then where does the U.S. go from here? When it stands with the World Cup, how far are we behind in terms of development and growth with the World Cup and soccer, football as a whole?
I mean, I've never been the biggest football or soccer fan, but I will say I do know that the USA men's league or the men's team has not been, like I said, one of those top dogs. I mean, the women's team has had a better record than us in terms of just their history and what they had and their dogs over there. Shout out to Trinity Rodman and all them dogs over there. But I mean, it's definitely wasn't a good match to see us losing to Belgium like that. It was very tough, and I mean, USA is one talk to talk about it, and that does suck. We still have a very good World Cup that's going on right
100%. Now. Don't let me take that away from left. Like, it's been still phenomenal to watch.
And being a USA fan, I can understand the disappointment. I mean, there's a lot of Mexican fans that are disappointed as well in terms of the Chivas. I feel like a lot of people kind of seen it happening in terms of just the way that they are able to finish from the history, and that goes the same for the U.S. But I will say that this match between England and Norway was really crazy. With England ended up finishing out the match
wild
2-1.
Yeah, that was wild. I watched that before the fight.
It was a crazy, and I feel like Halan was not able to get off the way he needed to. So it was a good match, man. England was on top of that.
That's what I mean. Like, but it went down to like they was just getting after it. Like, they was just getting after it. It wasn't. I'll take it 2-1 if they battling all the way through. They had to go to extra time. Like, you know what I mean? They was getting after it, and it's like that was just fun to watch. That was a great matchup, and like I said, don't let me take away from my U.S. rant. Don't let me take away from what's left, because there are some great matchups left.
No, I will say, I know Argentina had a lot of skepticism and scrutiny against their match with Egypt in terms of them feeling like they had that one goal that was taken back. I mean, it was a lot going on, but then again, I mean, what I've been saying is, like, dog, they scored 2 goals in less than like 15 minutes, brother. It was bad. I mean, your defense still collapsed. I mean, like, them boys, man, Argentina's looking like they could possibly repeat, brother. And then they went against Switzerland and won 3-1 again.
It's trending in that direction, not gonna lie.
Hey, man, this match against them in England is really gonna tell. This World Cup is very exciting, dog.
It might be the one. It might be the one where that might be the final, honestly. It might be those situations where that might be the final.
Go ahead and tune into the World Cup if y'all have not, man.
For sure.
Fox is where they really airing it officially into the English broadcast. And you have NBC
Peacock has been doing
Telemundo. Peacock has been doing the Spanish, and personally, I recommend the Spanish just because it's a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, they be
the Telemundo be going crazy.
Yeah.
But World Cup is definitely exciting, man. We only got a couple more matches left, so tune in while you guys can, man, for sure. Also, Coach Wilson, I know you have seen, obviously, MLB All-Star Weekend is in Philadelphia. It's in Philadelphia. It's in Philadelphia. First time, and I was saying, 30 years?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Since 96, dog.
I'm mad.
I mean, it wasn't even Citizens Banks Park at that time. Like, it was Veterans Stadium.
I'm not there for that. I know the city going to be lit.
I wanted to go out there for that, man. That was going to be very, very, very lit.
What you want.
But they had the All-Star, the All Futures Weekend this year, and obviously they had the MLB draft coming up.
Yep.
We had a couple of kids coming in from Arizona.
Man,
that got drafted, man.
Number one pick.
He's somebody from your school, right? From Hamilton?
Man. Shortstop from UCLA, Rob Chalowski, man, went number 1 overall. Chicago White Sox, man. Shout out to him. Obviously, he was there before I even got stepped foot on campus, but to be able to, to see that was pretty cool, and to share it amongst our coaches group chat and things like that, and to know, and then obviously to see some of his family members and all of that stuff, it's pretty cool to be able to see that and experience that. So congratulations to him, coming in and having the number 1 overall pick.
Hey, man.
That's a huge deal. Ain't nothing to slouch on.
MLB has a lot of prospects. That's another league that's all of the professional leagues are hard to get into, bro, but MLB that's congratulations, dog. It's a hell of an achievement, man. Also to Derek Schaefer, we see you as well. Right? I see you getting drafted from the ASU, dog, 4-year senior. Congratulations, bro. That's the latest natives that we have from Arizona that was able to get drafted to the MLB, and that's a hell of an accomplishment, man. Just being drafted, period. So shouts out to y'all, man, and good luck out there with y'all MLB.
Yes, sir. Y'all careers. There's a few kids that from Hamilton and Arizona that got drafted. So shout out to all of y'all. I know there was probably about 5 that I know that got drafted, man, in the later rounds. So congratulations to all of y'all. Definitely.
That's what's up, man. And I mean, speaking about kids, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the pod, Coach Wilson was out kind of doing his travel ball and whatnot.
Yes,
he had basketball coming back. So kind of enlighten us, man. What's been going on?
Oh, man. Well, let's see. This past weekend, you have some of the big circuits, the big shoe circuits that took place. Right. You had the Nike EYBL, and you had the what's else? The power circuit. The power circuit that was going on that took place. You had the Under Armour, I believe, that was also taking place. So it was some great, the brands and the big tournaments that obviously we're going down with some of the youth kids.
How'd your kids do?
Circuits, man. I got the 14-year kids. We went out to Cali. We went the opposite direction, but they did pretty well, man. We played up, and they held their own. They held their own in there. So. And then some of the other kids I was able to watch online. So shout out to y'all. Like, I love watching and just being able to be a part of it. Shouts out to, Nike and the EYBL and what they're able to do. I know they kind of advanced what they were trying to do. So they had a John Morant court down there, and they merged it a little bit with the boys. They
had John down there?
Yeah.
That's
Josh showed up down there.
That's cool.
And they were,
I know he had some new shoes that was coming out too.
Yeah, so they were promoting the shoe heavy. So they had a court that was dedicated to him.
The fours, I believe, John fours.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool to be able to see that and
have the kids experience that too, man. I want to say a once in a lifetime opportunity because like seeing someone like that and having the experience to roll out of their signature shoe is really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're really invested into it heavy, you're gonna have a lot more opportunities like that to be able to experience these stars, and that's why it's really cool to be able to invest in yourself. And I mean, if these kids are really into the sports and have a heavy interest, man, listen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let them follow their light and see exactly what ends up happening because Coach Wilson will tell you, man, these kids are bright. You got a lot coming for them.
Yeah, man, just let them do what they do. I would think that's the biggest advice. Like, just be parents. I tell you all the time, like we had it in the first episode, like,
I'm not a parent myself.
Yeah, I'm not a parent. He's a parent. So it's like, you let him do what you do. He's more educated on it than me, and I won't interrupt that. So it's the same thing, vice versa, with the coaches. Allow us to coach. There's been so many great coaches in the Valley that know what they're doing, that are in it for the right reasons, and that have grown these kids without, they don't want the notoriety. They don't want any of that stuff. They just truly are genuinely trying to be vessels for these kids, and I think parents gotta allow them to do that. There's so many great coaches that are being swept away and that are leaving the game because it's hard to deal with it. You know what I mean? It's hard to deal with all of the nonsense. We just want to coach. We just want to coach and provide guidance, and that's it.
And I'll kind of dig into that for you, Coach Wilson, because being a parent myself and I'm not like a licensed coach or anything like that. Essentially, I'm starting off as volunteer right now for my son, as I kind of mentioned it in the last pod. But I mean, going into that, you see exactly how these kids evolve. You see how the kids are, and you even see how some parents are. I mean, many of the kids that I'm coaching are only 4 and 5 years old, but you even see some parents that are a lot more hands-on than others. And I couldn't even imagine those parents now being the age that he coaches, where they're like 12, 13, 14 years old. Then it comes to a point, maybe even a little bit older, and it comes to a point where you have to not only deal with the kids' learning and development, but now you have to deal with the parent on the side and dealing with not just being a parent, but dealing with a grown person is a whole different type of story. Yeah. And I thought there's been a huge type of, I guess you can kind of say, topic of discussion in terms of just coaches and parents having the disconnection. I'll lay it out here. Like for a lot of parents, like I know it is very hard to see someone else even give commands over to your child, or direct your children. Sometimes your children may cry because of the situation they're in, whether it's football, basketball, tennis, and it's hard for them. You gotta let them go through it, man. There's a lot of diversity that has to happen, and in terms of just the challenges that they gotta go through, it builds their character. You standing up for them, and I'm not trying to tell anybody how to parent by all means. I'm just giving off my opinion as someone that is a parent of someone, that I've not only been around a lot of kids, but as a kid myself growing up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to speak too crazy on it because my kid is only 4 years old, so I get the whole the realization of it. Yeah. But then again, like I've been around sports a lot. I've been a coach. I've been a player. And being a parent now, I can see exactly where certain coaches are coming from. Where, some parents are really out of pocket. And if you are that parent, take a look in the mirror, take a little self-realization, and realize, like, yo, this ain't about you, man. Like and not even to be disrespectful, like it's about your kid. And the coaches, like Coach Wilson, are only looking out for your kids in terms of bringing them up and making sure that they're ready for that next step. And having you there, obviously every kid wants their parent, and it's beautiful to have, but at the same time, you don't want to delay them in the progress. Like you standing in the way can be a little bit of a delay, and by all means, coaches want to be as respectful as possible, but like he has just said, there's some coaches that just simply walk away, especially from kids, because their parents is just simply too much, and that just shouldn't be how it is. Like let coaches coach. If they step out of pocket or out of line, by all means, you definitely come in, and that's where you're the parent. But you got to let them coach. Like there's going to be some times where some things don't go your way, some things don't go the kids' way, and that's just how life works. Yeah, things aren't fair, and sports damn sure isn't fair sometimes. But the more you put more work in, I promise you that John is going to show your opportunity is going to come. And yeah, man, like I said, just to keep it as respectful as possible. And I definitely don't want to step on anybody's toes. But let the coaches coach, man. It's their job, and that's what they train.
I'm gonna leave it at that. And like this weekend, I think take a little bit of a page out of that book and just let it flow. This weekend coming up, obviously it's the last session of some of the circuits that they're going to, the New Balances, to the EYBL, to the Under Armour, and things like that. So parents, just go in and just allow your kids to be themselves. You know what I mean? Just take a step back and allow them to, if they running, they fall, they fall. Let them get back up, let them challenge themselves, and then let the coaches do what they do. But yeah, I think Cuzzo hit it on the head, and I'll just leave it at that. But it was definitely a topic, as we're going through and we're talking about the EYBL circuit. And these are things that we are definitely going to dive more into. We're going to have some special guests that come in. I'm going to bring in some of my college coaching friends and things like that, where we can really dive into these topics. I think they're super, super important. Obviously, it's just a flash in the pan of us just discussing it, but it's definitely something that we want to get all perspectives on.
And I was just about to say it as well. It's going to be the people that we come in and we have in for interviews aren't just going to be any people that are just cool with us. These are going to be actual colleagues that represent the business that we're in. Some real actual sources, I guess you can kind of say, that will be able to really give out some real viable and reliable information. Right. And also people that have been in the game for quite some time. So this is not someone, like I had mentioned, that's someone that's like just a friend in regards to just getting on some camera time. We want people that actually have a real insight and can give a true dialect in terms of what we're trying to give you guys. And I feel like the guests that we're going to have on board will definitely be able to provide that. Yes, sir. And yeah, like Coach Wilson said, he's going to bring on some coaches and some colleagues. I'm going to bring on some colleagues of myself, some people that represent just the sports business in terms of journalism, and it's going to be really cool.
To the kids, good luck. All right, play hard. Like I tell our girls in the group chat, play hard, be yourselves, have fun, enjoy the process. Like to all of y'all, every single one of y'all that I know, every single one of y'all that I don't know, that I come across, good luck to y'all. I wish y'all nothing but the best. Please stay healthy, take care of y'all bodies, and make sure that y'all have be the best version of yourselves this weekend as y'all go through on those last circuits coming up.
Also, speaking of weekends, Cuzzo, I mean, Weekend's coming up pretty soon, you know what I mean? I ain't got nothing crazy happening. Got some training going on for my son for basketball, and we have like a baby shower to go to later on, which is great. What you got going on?
Well, unfortunately, start back to school Wednesday, which is crazy.
I know, the summer flew too fast.
Yeah,
man.
So I'm gonna try to maximize these last couple of days, obviously, and then weekend nothing, man. And try to kick back and try to get myself body acclimated.
Yeah,
I'm trying to eat right, eat better. I'm trying to
get your rest. That's definitely important.
Trying to do the meal, so I'm the meal planning and all of that stuff. Trying to stay off the Chick-fil-A. Shout out to the girl that know I be at Chick-fil-A all the time. I'm trying to do better.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A plug is below it, bro. Don't even get me started.
I'm trying to do better. I promise. Like I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm taking it week by week. All right, in fact, day by day. Like,
I will say, man, for y'all that love salads, that Southwest salad at Sam's Club, you put you all on, man.
Yeah.
Game right there. Put some chicken bites in that mug. Call it over, bro. That's it right there, bro.
Yeah, meal prep.
You know what I mean? Ain't nothing like it. But yeah, man. I mean, I love the fact that we were able to, you know what I mean, give our insights in terms of what's going on. Obviously, like I said, we have a lot more cooking for y'all. It's going to be a very exciting experience. And obviously, with that being said, we're going to give off our insight, give off our opinions, but as well educate y'all what's going on in terms of what's going on today. Just period. The leagues, professional leagues, whether it be pop culture, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. And I know there's a lot going on every single day. So
100%. We always got something.
I mean, we always going to have something for y'all. But I thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's going to be a lot more coming. And with that being said, you do have your host. We have Nate checking out.
Coach Wilson.
And we will catch y'all later, man. Peace.
Yeah.